Accessing the feed now. We're in. But I don't know for how long. You seeing this? Way too much security, even for Advent.
That's no ordinary gene therapy clinic. They were telling the truth.
Or they're leading us into a trap. A really obvious trap. We'd need an army to march in there right now.
I've got a better idea. Outrider, this is Central. Go.
Timeline you placed upon us, mistakes are bound to happen.
It wasn't our fault. Please!
There's no need for any of this. I will do what you ask of me. I just need additional time. Did you say something? You're one of those? You must understand, I had no choice.
Outrider, report.
So, you do exist. Outrider to Avenger, I have visual confirmation.
Are you sure?
Reapers are always sure.
I'll take your word for it. Cover your tracks and get the hell out of there. They can't know we were here. Yet.
Understood. Now the real war begins.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate a benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest peacekeeper. Remember, only together can we build a better tomorrow.
Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep gate crasher. 60 seconds.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn. Forces are swarming to the blast point. We need to move on the package before they figure out what we're up to. They're holding position. We're gonna have to go through them. Stay out of sight until we're ready to strike. Copy that.
Remind me to thank the old man.
You and me both. She's calling reinforcements. Stop that transmission.
Central, reporting in.
You're late. What have you been doing down there?
Taking in the sights.
What the hell are these things?
They're us. At least there used to be. Human hybrid soldiers. Advent's reward for obedience and service.
We've all heard rumors. I just never believed it was true.
No one wanted to. But we find what we're looking for today. I promise you that's gonna change. Let's move. Moving to secure the package.
Let's hope our intel was good.
This is the place.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Looks like there's an access panel attached. If you get me a better look, I might be able to...
Next time. Let's get out of here.
Carefully! There's potentially decades of atrophy to contend with.
Wish we had more time.
I don't disagree.
But as it stands now, we risk losing the patient if we don't begin the removal procedure immediately.
We're ready.
Good. Then let's get on with it.
Remarkable.
Just like 20 years ago. We were still calling it a war back then. We had no idea what was coming.
Response from the cerebral cortex. Good. Prepping for cranial intrusion. I've managed to identify the connection. Preparing to make final incision.
These readings are getting really erratic.
Of course they are. These implants were never designed to be removed. We are risking severe...
No plan B here, people. Do it.
Pupillary response normal. Vital stabilizing. Procedure complete.
Told them it would take more than that to keep you down. Welcome back, Commander.
Glad to see you're finally coming out of it. Don't envy the headache you must have, though. Still, can't fault Dr. Tigan. Especially as no one's even attempted something like this before. Easy. We're still not entirely sure what they did to you. That chip was buried halfway into your skull. Lost a lot of good soldiers looking for you over the years. Almost gave up hope you were still out there. Acted on the intel as soon as I got word. Not sure what you remember, but a lot's changed. Did the best I could, but the last 20 years have been tough without you. You feel like catching up? Shen has the archive up and running on your terminal. Otherwise, I'd go see Dr. Tigan when you're ready. There's some things you should know. He'll be better at explaining them than me. It's damn good to have you back, Commander. I heard you, Shen. When we get the thing, you'll be the first to know.
Attention! Unauthorized presence detected.
Commander, give me a second. Execute Echelon Protocol.
Attention! Senior Command Exchange confirmed.
I had wanted that to be a little more ceremonious, but we've got something. A local resistance cell just located this hybrid magnetic power converter that Shen's been pushing us to find. They tracked the device to a nearby Advent convoy and are attempting to take it down. If we can bring this converter back in one piece, we might actually get this place up and running, and give the aliens a real war for a change. The squad is prepped and ready to launch on your order, Commander. Just give the word.
Why are you all just standing around? It's perfect. Come on! Let's get it inside.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology, Commander. Dr. Richard Tigan, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
Okay, reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
Just stay clear of the perimeter, understood? Commander, good. Think we got something here. Despite all of Advent's efforts, there are still people who refuse to believe their lies. And it's time we let them know they're not alone. We've already located a target for our first operation.
Sir, given our current location, there's actually no way the Sky Ranger could reach that position.
Who said anything about the Sky Ranger? Shen, status report. Are we ready?
Short answer, yes. But you might all want to hold on to something.
Hello, Commander. The council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration. With one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the resistance from the inside. It was these resistance operatives that provided the intel leading to your recent extraction. As of now, resistance forces are currently somewhat disorganized. If we are to defeat Advent and their alien masters, you must change this before it is too late. What you are seeing are classified reports of missing civilians from across the world. Their numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking. Good luck, Commander.
Commander, good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry, not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back. Resources and time are tight, Commander. It'll be up to you to decide how to best use both. The ship is yours.
Well, well, well. Isn't that a stage to have been set? Well, folks, that was quite the movie-like intro to get us to this stage, but it sets the tone for what's coming ahead. I'm back, and with a very, something I'm very excited about, which is a very particular version of XCOM. I've spent a lot of time over the last few weeks modifying a lot of the mods in this list to work a very specific way, as well as the base game. So this is a very unique version of the game. It has 16 completely unique classes that you can't actually get by just downloading. I've handcrafted these fucking classes with a certain vision in mind for all of them. 16 is a lot, but they all kind of have a role. There's like almost like 2 classes that kind of have overlaps. Every 2 classes like can have some overlaps. because there are unique primaries, but some are repeated, and there's some unique secondaries, but some are repeated. This is Long War of the Chosen as a base. Over 500 mods. We'll see if the series survives it, because you never know with these things. But I've done a lot of testing and some ini file editing to get to this stage. So we'll kind of break things down as they approach. But just assume any relative quality of life or user interface mod that you can think of is here, because obviously those are no-brainers for any XCOM player at this point. But it also has some unique stuff that bring a very difficult but satisfying feel. So this is a very, I've this save set up that I've called New Start, Don't Delete, because it requires a little bit of modifying to occur after you get through all the cutscenes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of insert a bunch of cutscenes at the beginning of this video to kind of set the stage, and we're going to play this very close to the ground. Let's try to be very involved in what's going on, you know, with our soldiers, the relationships they have, and all that jazz. So yeah, so down here in engineering, okay, let me not get too distracted. I've gone ahead and I've set up squads with the naming conventions that I prefer. Obviously we have my brother's plan. I guess you guys don't see that pop up. That was a Steam pop up. Nice. Okay. I have Alpha and Bravo set up, and then a bunch of other squads with some placeholder names. And I haven't even really touched the bridge outside of proccing the POIs and all that stuff. So let's get into it. We got a lot on our hands. Humanity's fate. We are the resistance. We got to save these people from the lies they're being told. And we're just a ragtag group. The enemy is dangerous. So, and you'll see why soon. Alright, so here we are at the good old-fashioned geoscape. I'm going to try to do every episode, I'm going to try to do one mission, right? So when that mission ends, or perhaps when the next one begins, that's how I'll do it. I'll let this intro one be a little longer. Okay, so off the bat, we have all of our little... Oh, nice. They look like they're bodiless heads, but I'm sure that will hopefully work itself out. I have no idea if it will. I haven't... we'll see if that backfires. Anyways. I think the first thing we go for here is an engineer, because those are very powerful. We have one engineer and one scientist to start, because I have to balance this game out a bit. I've made it very difficult in the tactical layer, but I needed to ease the pressure on the strategy layer, because I'm not as good at it. Okay, so we got our engineer without any other pop-ups. I think I should probably go for this next, but maybe the black market, because we have a lot of supplies. But I gotta think about how I want to use my supplies. Okay. That engineer, now, what can I staff here? Oh, these are robot healing bays. I see. That makes a lot of sense. So in that case, I'll just get them started on the resistance ring. There is a lot of items in this game. There is a lot. Okay. There's a lot here added by a mod, and we'll see how they fill out. Medpack is actually useless. I should have removed that, but that's more of a irritation. This I'm interested to see how it works. That looks like deployable full cover, so I have a few classes that can use this. One thing I did is I meticulously restricted a lot of the items to classes to give them more of a difference feeling, which is important. But it also makes the game difficult. And you'll see why. Yeah, I'd be interested to use this. This is a cool tool. I can change the layout of a battle. And we'll see how some of these other things go. But we'll see how it all fits together, because God knows it could be a treacherous experience. But I've tried to do the best I can. What is this upgrade? So the one thing is this living quarters, which limits your crew until you get the upgrade is required, which is not impossible. Like 10 Elerium crystals, not impossible to get. And that would give us an extra 10 and an extra 20, so we would go to a maximum of 60 crew, which includes your scientists and engineers. But the difference is, you can go above it. It doesn't fully restrict you, but the upkeep times for your wounded soldiers gets longer, so, you know, it'll be interesting. Anyways, back into it. We got our engineer. I'll go for this because we already know we need those crystals and we wouldn't mind grabbing them. Because, trust me, soldiers are going to die. One experience that I felt with Long War of the Chosen is that I found myself at like this threshold of like, essentially, either me flawlessly a mission or things going really bad. And like somebody dying and then the whole team kind of falling apart. So what I've done is I've kind of given the lethality in this game a big bump. So what you'll see is like, I might lose a soldier more often, but more often do I find my limited soldiers can handle what they're left with. So it's a trade-off, but it just means I have to be smart about how I engage, and if I engage. This is going to cost a lot of retreating. I think we go for communications, but honestly, I'm going to try to give myself this rule. And I already broke it technically, but we'll say I have to limit how many POIs I go to, because I have to get missions underway. I got to get soldiers in the field. I got to get them leveled up. Okay, we got a low visibility sit rep, which is nice. A concealed start, and this gets us another scientist. This is a huge mission for us. But because it's a concealed start, I'm going to send this Bravo squad first. Because they don't have any, like, sort of low visibility operatives, if you will. Okay, so you're going to notice you're going to be like, what are these names and symbols? I don't recognize these. Yeah, they're all kind of customized specific ways. So we have the Assault class, which I'm not going to look at every ability. We can let that be the surprise. I know what they all are, obviously. But essentially, I've changed the way that these classes work. So that way, it's a primary tree, a secondary tree, a complementary equipment tree, or what ends up happening is how well you use the equipment you already have, and conditioning, which is just kind of general soldier survivability and flexibility as a human, outside of their equipment at all. And I think it makes for an... And then obviously there's the pistol, the sidearm now, the sidearm thing, which everybody can equip a sidearm, and they can by default fire it for free every once in a while, but they can go upgrade along that line. So I wanted this default lightning hands because I think it creates an experience where I'm more interested in having a sidearm. Because if it can finish off a light kill for free in the middle of a turn, think about it. Like, if you have two guys low health, but you need to make sure you kill both, you can have one guy push a flank, get a free kill with a pistol without ending his turn, and then maybe still have an action after that to finish off the second guy. It's just a really big flexible tool, and part of that flexibility is what these classes do, is it actually makes them really good and strong at certain things, but the lethality comes into play, and the tactical game planning, you can't get bailed out by these abilities. These abilities can be like fight defining, but it's still the lethality at the end of the day. It's still firing a shot, which is the most powerful thing you can often do. Okay, so with that, by default, the Assault gets the Slug Shot. They get the Arc Thrower Stun, which is really good. And they get a free Flashbang Grenade in their inventory, so that actually frees up their mobility while still giving them a piece of equipment. And they get Run and Gun. And then obviously every class gets Lightning Hands, as I showed earlier. So this is basically your frontline pressure unit. Similar to what you'd expect an Assault to be, but it's either killing, or it's controlling, or it's, supporting in certain ways, but the mobility and all that, really up in your face. And there's two units that kind of follow that description. They both have shotguns, but there's actually a lot of guerrilla-style units in this. I mean, 16 classes, you'd think so. And we'll, as we come across them, I'll kind of break them down. So I don't have to equip anything, and he's going to have 15 movement, which is really nice. That one flashbang on its own is quite powerful. Maybe I'll have other characters carry the rest, because I want to keep him mobile. But as you can see, there's 3 equipment slots, so you could carry it, but oh, what's this? He can't have a smoke grenade. Yeah, I don't think... I want that flexibility of equipment to be a bit more unique. But everybody can have a med kit, because if I only gave it to the one class, that one class would be required in every squad to a certain point. Now keep in mind, the thing about the medic is they operate a little different, which is why I gave everybody the med kit, because lethality means that med kit doesn't often get as useful as you'd think. And here's an example of lethality. Look at how much damage this thing does right off the bat. You get up and close, that's a fucking risk in this version of XCOM. So I wanted these things to be punchy. And there's sort of I basically broke the game down into 3 main weapon platforms and then the variations on them. So you're going to see that as we continue here. Next up we have the Gunner. This is obviously an incredible class, typically speaking, but essentially you have a combat knife specialist, which, although these trees have unique things they're tailored towards, the idea of this is I didn't want an experience where it felt like I had to pick a lane. You can go up and down this list with every character and every soldier you have and feel good about it, because there's really nice strong abilities without having to feel like, well, I've picked this, so I should go along this line. Obviously, suppression is the name of the game with this cannon, but for this class, and you'll see what I mean by that later. Yeah, this thing wants to be laying down suppressive fire, but it also has flexibility in close, because this cannon has that range requirement. But it also pumps out a lot of damage. This cannon has similar lethality to the shotgun, but it's not good in close, so we have the knife on the back, and that kind of makes that flexible. And then there's just equipment, which is going to be armor and weapon-like effectiveness for them, and then conditioning, which is just kind of their survivability and also ability to kill off shots, as well as some pretty cool ones, which will, I'll just give you that sneak peek. But yeah, this is a suppressive heavy unit that just kind of has equipment that makes that more effective and flexible, with the combat knife being a nice backup just to keep them useful in close range engagements. Anyways, I'll push on, because this video is already going to be forever long, I'm sure. It's only been 14 minutes. Well, for me, but that cutscene is probably like another 14. Okay, well, here we go. This is one of the other close range engage class, the Marine. So the Marine also wants to be up close. It has the combat knife. So effectively, it gets that combat knife close range engagement and a shotgun. You might think that sounds counterintuitive, but at the end of the day, it's just like cover is so important. Getting shot is so deadly that sometimes, yeah, you can go for that knife kill at the edge of your range, but sometimes you want to plop yourself behind cover and hit them with the shotgun. But it's just this full frontline kill close range class. It is, if you're a Marine, you're at risk of death every mission, every turn probably. So that's why they're the Marines, because that's a tough gig, and but they pull it off well. So yeah, very effective in close combat, powerful in close combat, but getting shot at is so lethal that's the trade-off, is you're close. Next up we have the Tactician. So the Tactician is essentially rocking this LMG platform, which is going to be a bit above your assault rifle, but not quite of the power output of a cannon, but it has sort of the flexibility of being right in between those as far as range and firepower, but having some flexibility. So the Tactician is essentially your team bolsterer and call out guy. He has the hollow targeter, which I've labeled as a commands line, which has some cool shit. That's a sneak peek. And it's all about essentially giving your team the direction of, okay, we're killing this guy now, we're killing this guy now, while also kind of supporting them in that concept of hey, you're going to overwatch this guy, or you're going to get an aim bonus, I'm going to force him to move, and we're going to kill him, right? Being that glue that can strengthen other members of the team. It also has a bit of a suppression line to keep that effectiveness. But one thing that's cool about this is this gun has a very unique ability where you get to fire multiple times on Overwatch. So being an Overwatch is also very effective with this. So it's just a kind of, you do this, I'll do this kind of class. Which isn't powerful in its own right, but can become powerful through its teammates. So, that's the classes we're sending out on this one. A lot of close-range engagements with some good fire support. Should be a fun one, especially for a rescue VIP, which is... It's going to be in a city, so there's going to be some good cover to make close-range engagements not lethal to us. Although it's biomazino form. I guess that'll have to do with the lighting or something. We'll see what that looks like. But we are going to hit 100... What are we going to hit? Current? Yeah, we're going to hit 190% easy, which is important. Because the thing about this version, and I'll start this so I'm not talking forever, is the lethality is so deadly that you've got to keep their numbers down. And this game turns that sort of strategy layer into a gotta stay ahead of our opponents. Let's see what we get. 5 days, perfect. So that's why, even though I can put out 8 people, I'm putting out 4. And this is another concealed start where we have to hack a workstation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slop the rookies out here. They're still very effective at doing damage. But their aim is fucking awful. And we all know that. We all know it to be true. So I don't care as much about mobility with these guys, unless their aim is really, really bad, in which case I'll have to give them the submachine gun. But I'm not looking at that right now. I'm just focusing on getting these guys as much equipment flexibility as possible. Because the equipment limitations happen as you become more specialized of a soldier, gotta take advantage of the flexibility these rookies have. So, this guy's aim is absolutely horseshit, so I'm gonna give him an SMG so he can get closer, be more effective with these tools. 61 ain't bad, 71 ain't bad, 60 ain't terrible. But that mobility at 10 probably is a hindrance, so let's switch that up. So it's 12, damn, 15, 14, 12, okay. Alright, no, I like this. I think we need assault rifles out there, if I'm honest, actually. No, I can't have him lag behind, but I need the equipment flexibility. So let's get the show on the road. They aren't squatties yet, so they don't have the free fire with the pistol, and that would slow them down too much, so you can't throw a pistol on their hip. Not yet. Now. We have 2 missions, so my thought process is 1 mission find. For each mission I find, I'm going to give myself 2 POIs to scan. So that way I'm staying on top of scouting, but I'm worried that I should make that 1 for 1. In which case, I've already done 2 POIs, and now I have 2, but it starts with another POI loop. So, but I'll make the read on that. I'm going to go black market. It's technically not a POI, but I need access to that with the supplies I have, because you never know what you get your hands on. And we already have our mission, which is 6 days, so we're going to go ahead and take that. I probably should have finished scanning that first, just to be, efficient, but I don't give a fuck. Not that much anyways. So let's start with Alpha here, but we have another concealed start, and we're going to beat this thing to pulp. So I'm going to go ahead and drop another squad out there, because I need these guys to be cooking. Now, another thing you guys might notice is how these guys look. They're very scrappy looking. So I wanted to create a more immersive experience with this game. So what I did is I coded it, or I configured the game so that way these the rookies always spawn in this old Resistance warrior gear. This creates a Resistance feel. We're a scrappy group, and even though it's not an unlimited resource, it's unlimited, I'm only going to give out Kevlar armor to sergeants and above, with one exception, which you'll eventually see, or maybe you've already noticed. Shoot, for the sake of my OCD, let me do it the same way I did the rest of them. Okay, who's got terrible aim? 79 is fucking incredible. I'm almost sad to send him out because I need that to be a marksman or a ranger or an agent. 70 is good as well. 66 is also good, but that mobility is terrible. But I need that flexibility. 11, 10. This will be a slow-moving group. 13. Oh my goodness, that aim is so good, but I can't let them lag behind like that. That puts them at 9 still. Wow. She looks like she's a nimble one, but I don't know what's going on there. She has not been doing cardio workouts or something. We have a scope. Is it worth putting it on a rookie? That guy could die out there. That'd be so stupid. What do I drop? Probably drop the straight frag. Get her to 10. Okay. I'm excited to go on one of these missions. I've done most of my work is based on editing the tactical experience to be a bit more of a pain in the ass. So we have 3 up. We have done 3 POIs. I'm going to grab more rookies because let me tell you right now, those are 3 missions we've scanned. I can promise you we are not flawlessing all of them. There's a chance we don't flawless any. Excellent isn't necessarily even on the table for sure. We could have a fail in there. If I want to win this war, I have to think long term. I can't risk lives for something that I'm not going to complete. The soldier life is more important than anything. They're our greatest resource over any progress that a mission might bring. What are we researching, by the way? Communication, okay, good. 10 hours? Fuck yeah. That's huge, because I was like, I don't really want to scan for another mission here after I find the next one. That's really good. 4 days. Normally I would go alien biotech, but why not? It gives us a free nano vest, which we can put on a specific character. I'm just going to start making contact. We have enough scan power over there just by the resistance itself and the fact that we have a radio tower established. Resistance ring has been built. So I'm actually tempted to throw my scientist in here and immediately launch, like, yeah, let's do recruit rebels maybe. Yeah. So I'm going to throw Jane Kelly. That's right. You recognize her. If you're watching an XCOM video, you know Jane Kelly. So I kept her in the game and I made her an operative. You'll see how interesting that is later. And we'll throw Elena Dragonova. Hey, they were in the cutscenes you watched at the beginning of this video. So enjoy them being in the game. We got to keep that narrative going. And I'm going to send out there with one of their squad mates. I'll go with Andrei Krasikov. That's a pretty sick name. And the 3 of them will get some resistance personnel by doing a Cabal of the Dark. Search for resistance recruits. It looks like we're doing it somewhere in Mexico. I'll try to keep this narrative attention. Oh, shit, do I have a fucking... Tell me I have had an engineer just sitting there. Idiot. We're clearing debris, and we're clearing debris, so... I need a guerrilla tactics school ASAP. Okay, so it stopped scanning automatically because we hit 100. And we're already at vulnerable. I'm just going to launch that shit. We're going in, so... actually, give me a sec. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, let's get into Operation Day Taker. We have to rescue a VIP from an Advent vehicle. Free the important prisoner. In this case, it is Dr. Jose Angel Zapata, who is a scientist that could bolster our research, especially while we have another scientist working on covert ops. City Center, Xenoform, time of day 329. I assume that's what that means. So we're going to have 17 turns. It is fixed evac, so no evac with flare. It's a concealed start, and they're vulnerable. Normally I wouldn't go this early, but the fact that they're vulnerable already, yeah, that's pretty good for us. So we're going to launch this mission. And we'll see how that goes. Nervous, obviously. During my testing of this experience, I was able to pull off some flawlesses, but that was the odd man out. Most of these experiences were actually considered acceptable. And you know what that means for these poor souls.
And secure the target package. Menace 1-5, we have a confirmed location for the VIP. Move to rendezvous. Eliminate all hostile contacts.
Gotcha.
We are ready to do some alien abductions of our own.
Okay. Alright, thank you, Jimmy. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the hotkeys. Okay, so, we're, looks like we've kind of started this up on the roof of a gas station, which is down the street from, it looks like a passing highway that they've kind of stopped at. Maybe we'll say checkpoint, check-in, and now we're going to storm this little checkpoint while they have our desired scientist in tow. We got to get this scientist, folks, okay? Our resistance cell was able to pick up on this person coming through at the time and the checkpoint stop, and now we're here to cash in on that opportunity. All the work that has been done up to this point, it's on the shoulders of Jimmy, Jusala, Habiba, Ahmad. I'm going to butcher so many of these names, but I'm going to try to bring them into the fold, right? We want to, I'm a little nervous about jumping down off this building, to be completely honest with you. So let's just chill. I don't want to get overzealous here. We have to think about how we approach, because I do not want to get caught out. I know we're in cover, but one thing to pay attention to is the timer here. It's not counting down.
Got it covered.
The shotgun in Overwatch is about as useless as it gets, but whatever. Okay, so now we're going to drop down. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this a bit better. I'm actually going to hit a wide berth on this.
Okay.
It's into full cover, and we have peek from concealment. We have true concealment on, which basically means, or infiltration, which basically means this timer doesn't start until shit pops off. Because in theory, you think about it like this. We've hit a checkpoint, but that's routine for them. It's a regular day. They don't know we're here. So they're only going to start to try to pull, you know, basically, I know we have this evac here, but I think the idea of it flying above and alerting them doesn't make a lot of sense. If there was like a straight up military aircraft flying in a city center when you started a mission, they'd be on that shit way hot. So I think the idea is that this is just where we have to go because it's been preordained. We'll say there's a condition that determines that, but it's not actually there until we need it to be, if that makes sense.
I do it.
Just means we have to get to a location, but we don't have to wait for the timer to get set off. So
Rolling out.
Let's move these guys up. Some bad movement on our team means that it's going to be a little tougher to keep up. But as of right now, we haven't seen anybody. So you could say we've secured the evac position. Now we have to push up this road. Damn, it is right fucking there, and we haven't seen a single squad yet. That makes me nervous. That makes me really fucking nervous. You. Okay, hold on. I like to do this.
If necessary.
Just to ensure that we don't see anything. Oh, I forgot this is low visibility, too.
On my way.
That could be a blessing and a curse, folks. An absolute blessing and a curse. Oh my god.
I have eyes on the enemy.
That is the type of shit I'm talking about, but thank God for the visibility issue. Now, I have to think about how I want to approach this immediately, right? These guys are a little hung back here, but we're going to get him up to this half cover. Now, there's a very specific thing that I've implemented in this game, which I kind of regret doing, but it is what it is.
You tell them that.
Okay, now we have to rethink everything that we've thought of up to this point.
I know better.
We're locked in now. We're locked in. That low visibility gives us flexibility, but we have to get away from that second pod. Engaging two pods at once is pure suicide. Or being forced to engage two pods at once might be forced suicide. Okay, the entire map has descended upon our position.
We appear to have an alien on the loose.
Wow. This is not good for us. Well, folks, this is what you'd call a blown up. Now, we have to think on our feet here, people. We have to think on our feet.
There's not a chance in hell we'll
At the end of the day, we're dug in. If I move, you know, the op is up.
Overwatch.
I cannot afford to trigger this on my turn. So although we're probably already dead here, when I hit Overwatch, all hell will break loose. Now, Yellow Alert gameplay means the first pod you burst is the best fight you have. Because after that, the map becomes aware of your position, and they enter a heightened form of scamper, where instead of the first pod scampering to cover when they reveal you on their turn, they might have a few guys go into Overwatch, but we'll see. They're vulnerable, so this entire lobby will count as the first pod. I hope that means nobody gets any actions. If it does, we might be screwed. But, in theory, this is the only chance we have, is this Overwatch right now. We will be spotted. There's no way in hell we don't get spotted. It is a foggy day, and goodness gracious, what is going on? There's no way. Yeah, okay, good. Well, I say good.
We need to learn why.
2 of them got away. Yo, that's what we're talking about! Oh, that was loud.
If we must fight you to protect the Earth,
You missed. You missed. 72 and 73, you fucking assholes. Wait, he gets the second chance. Oh, baby, that's what that fucking LMG is for. Okay, we killed one of the 2 pods. You missed a 70. Oh, fucking maroon. Okay, it's a 4v5, though. Let's just take that into consideration, and they didn't get to take a single supportive action. Except for the sentry, of course. Who naturally, of course, gets to go into fucking Overwatch. What an asshole. Alright. Suddenly things have become quite limited. Now, you might have noticed. We're alive, nobody's dead, and we actually have a chance to survive this unscathed. Because of the lethality. So my initial thought is that I need to get this guy into full cover, but also this guy over here is in straight up Overwatch. Now, how are we positioned if you think about it? We have kind of cut this in half except for the sectoids. So typically speaking, I'd be more interested in engaging these guys because they're straight up killers. This sectoid is more likely to try to do a stun attack, so it's the least dangerous, which sucks. This guy's my big issue. I can't leave him here, that's a straight up flank shot, and we have a drone which takes out one of our soldiers basically at the end of the fight. So I think the drone has to go, and because of that, I have to treat the sectoid like the target to kill, and we have to reframe ourselves in battle to a position against the shooters, in full cover ideally. So how we do that is I think we keep the left hook over here, because there's a lot of fucking viability in that left hook. I'm thinking I take my assault to this position, literally right here, guaranteeing this kill. He can do 6 to 8 damage. That's already a kill, plus a crit, which... So we'll see. There's a chance he doesn't get the kill. We'll go from it there. But this whole plan is based on this. So if he fails, the rest of the plan fails. Sectoid gets killed by 1. I use another one to take out the surveillance drone. And ideally, I could do that with 1 shot. It'd be hard. Maybe a grenade. Because they're also more lethal in this. There's no officers. So we're good there, and then I just rotate the gunner around the pillar and try to kill him with the knife, which is also a bit more lethal, but might not get the kill. However, with... Sorry, one sec. Red fog on. Also, I should change this to... I don't know, I feel like... Do I keep it at 10? No. I bring it down to 5. Okay, sorry. Minor adjustment out of the way. So, here we go. It all comes down to this. Whew. Starting with you, Johnny. We roll up right on the sectoid. We're in full cover. We take 100% chance to hit. All we need is it to roll slightly higher or a crit. We get a crit, dude. And it was slightly higher. So we did max damage, which was 10. That's amazing. So that's 1 for 1. Now, my second aspect of this rotation is to take out this trooper to create space away from our new enemy line, because we're not killing everybody this turn. I'd like to position him here, and then maybe I give somebody Overwatch. This keeps a left hook in our flexibility to see how we engage going forward. And then I'll give somebody Overwatch. But first, I'm going to rotate him around the pillar. Now we've created a new front line, assuming we kill this guy. This could do 3 to 5. I'm betting on it. It does 3, which is obviously horrendous. This creates a bit of a tough situation. I'm going to roll off this. Pick out Slug. Honestly, I'd rather just not take the damage. This guy guarantees doesn't kill us. He just takes one of us out of the fight. And it becomes a 3v3 next round. Has to go. Perfect. Now I'm going to put our deadliest Overwatch guy in Overwatch using the command. Tactician, coming in handy. He gives our boy Overwatch. Now the fight starts and he guns him down immediately.
I kiss my gun.
Oh, fuck.
Bad idea.
Graze hit. Graze hit. Oh. What was that percentage? I wasn't paying attention. That's alright. Guys, we've won the mission. That's the crucial aspect of this. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, but we're in a really fucking strong spot. I'm just going to... Oh. I just realized he's an Overwatch. Now I have a flashbang, so that's literally not the end of the world. I can roll up here without triggering Overwatch, but before I make that decision, what's the plan? Who has to die? He's got to go. We have 2 shotguns with 2 things. The problem is, this guy doesn't have it, so it's going to have to be him on the flash. So flashbang the sentry. Roll up on the sentry.
I guess that'll be okay.
Finish this guy off without a shadow of a doubt. Risk reward. And then... Ooh, we've already won this fight. Like, at the end of the day, this is the last surviving enemy unit. And he's either going to go for a second stun, I don't think they do that, or he's just going to shoot this guy. He's already damaged. That seed has been sown. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop out of cover here just to get the loot. And, wow, I can't reach him. In that case, I'm going to move back over here so I can get him next turn. I wasn't going to be able to get him anyways. That's as far as I could go. He stuns a second. Oh, he goes for the disorient. Okay. That doesn't really hurt my feelings, per se. Let's just get this going. Hack. Open it up. Ooh, man, what was that percentage on that? That's a one-shot walk away from flawless. Ah, what are you gonna do? Cover for UFO raid? We do not have the fucking manpower for UFO raid. Unless it's based on your level and you can infiltrate, not gonna happen. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and see. Can we kill this guy? 98% chance to kill. Wow, we hit a graze hit for 3 and 2 armor ate it.
Stay out of our way.
Let's just take him out. 6 to 8 chance. Yeah, he's gone. We hit the full 6.
The war isn't over.
So we rolled low, but it was enough. Second FN drone has been there the whole time. The low visibility just cut him off. That is fucking funny. Okay. Let's get the move on here, because this,
Okay.
Ah, shit on me. Okay. Well, he can't get there. Let's get you out of here. I think the natural step is to just barrel stuff this guy. Yeah. That's what I figured.
We have found ourselves against any attempt to stop us.
Good to go.
Alright, so the mission has been successfully considered a complete mission, and we've actually avoided losing anyone, if you can believe it. So the first Michelin, the first mission, I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen, the Michelin star. Okay, it's been on my mind, shut up. Yeah, so the first mission, we didn't lose anyone. Took an injury, though. Which obviously sucks.
Making progress, Commander.
But,
confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Council assistance. Fighters operating near the to the city heard our successful operation and let us know a supply stash nearby. After reaching the stash, we found 1 resistance ammo crate. Nice. Excellent. Our MVP was Gianni. 4 out of 4 on the shots. Damage. Where's the damage? 27 damage. Whew. Love that. Yeah, tough look for Ajimi. Good by Marine. I mean, the Overwatch, what are you going to do? That was a tough miss, but what are you going to do? And the Tactician, MVP in my heart, that Overwatch was sexy. We got an extra kill on our turn. He killed somebody from the back line without being able to see anyone. That was his turn. So it didn't count for him on the kill list, but it was his.
Abandon our values for those of the old world. The remarks followed a moment of silence for peacekeepers slain by XCOM dissidents.
XCOM dissidents. Oh, the propaganda machine is powerful over there in the Advent. But we bring them home. We brought them home in the middle of a full-on activating the entire map. We activated the entire map at once, and we actually brought them all home. The worst guy got lightly wounded for 10 days. That is a fucking excellent mission. That's borderline flawless without the flawless. Okay, let's promote. So the Marine, one of our close ranges on this squad. This is a really fucking in-your-face crew. Honestly, I think that the trench gun won't get as much use as opposed to combatives. So gain the ability to parry and counterattack melee attacks. Actually, this doesn't necessarily hit us yet. This doesn't really come into effect until we hit stun lancers, so I might bypass that one. Oof, that's pretty delicious. I'll go with the trench gun. Just bring the shotgun out. I think I definitely want to bring this into play. That control ability. So, sorry, to explain, basically, we have the ability to shoot a cone of shot with the shotgun here with Ahmed. Which will, do a lot of damage in that radius. Then we have Zhao here, who can now, if they miss the arc stun, it can disorient the enemy. So that's pretty powerful because you can use that, in theory, as a flashbang on low targets now. Anywhere you are, if you can see somebody, you shoot that thing. If you hit them, they're stunned. If you don't, it's like they got hit with a flashbang. So that's really powerful. Our lightly wounded gunner here, I think you gotta go, think of how bunched up the enemies were there. An area suppress would have absolutely dominated. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then our tactician here, I mean, I think tracking is a pretty good one for them. Just basically allows them to see people through walls. Yeah, we're low on a lot of things, but we got a new scientist. And we hit the enemy bestiary. Or bestiary? I never know. I assume bestiary just because... Come on, that's where all the beasts are located in video games. Alright, speaking of beasts, sectoid. We know nothing. Advent Trooper, yep, we also know nothing. We know nothing about this guy as well. Whoops. Sentry, we don't know much, but we hate them. Engineer, didn't really feel his presence. He died too fast, but pain in the ass with the with that. And duelist. Okay, so they're repping mag rifles, by the way. The lethality comes from the fact that their damage is our mag rifle damage, which is 2 upgrades away. So at the end of the day, if they get a clean shot on you, you're dying. Early on, anyways. So full covers everything. Okay, back into the fray. With a successful mission down. Time to scan. Are they vulnerable? No. So we're gonna wait. Are they vulnerable? No. We'll wait. Oh, we've cleared some debris. This has to be my guerrilla tactics school like yesterday. Thank God I can actually build it. 7 days. Fuck. So this one hit 100, but this one hit 121. Alright, folks. When we come back... And thanks for watching. If you're here, by the way, thanks for watching. I mean, I'd be surprised, but I appreciate it if you're watching this part. I'll just say that I was gone for a while there because a lot of stuff in my real life got busy and required a lot of attention. Drained a lot of energy. And I finally feel like I've reached a point now where I have enough spare energy because I've handled that aspect of my life or learned to handle it or whatever. And so I'm coming back, but I'm just going to do XCOM. We're just doing XCOM. Until we beat the aliens or the aliens beat us. Which could be a while, but yeah, I've set up this experience, which will be a learning curve. I probably don't win this war, but maybe we revisit when we learn some things. Try to learn along the way. If you have any suggestions or any questions, throw it in the comment section. And yeah, in the next episode, we come back with Operation Light Woman. Can we back up our last performance with a successful, excellent or above? Don't worry, at some point we'll be begging for acceptable. Cheers.